o'clock in the morning. Very smart.
Roi de pure chasse l'éditeur.
Good morning. So we made it back the whole 500-kilometer trip from Köln or Cologne, Germany, in this beautiful French sports coupe. And if you don't know what this car is, it's a Peugeot? Peugeot? Oh, let me check.
Peugeot.
It's a Peugeot 406 coupe. This is the pre-facelift model from 2001, and I think the design holds up beautifully 22 years later. So let's do a small walk around and show you what we got. Alright, so I'm gonna turn the ignition on. This means the service is overdue. This means the oil level is fine. And this is the mileage. So this is a high mileage car. 266,000 kilometers, not miles. I don't know what that's in miles, that's gonna be here somewhere. For the age, the interior looks pretty good. There are no tears and scratches. This is the fabric interior, which I prefer over the leather. Steering wheel is faded a bit on this side. Also, the volume knob is a bit sticky too. Disgusting. I mean, the whole car is sticky, if I'm honest. I don't know what the previous owners did, but look at this. That's not water on the outside, that's something on the inside, which is disgusting. And someone pushed this thing in, not sure why. This car sports a very old school cassette tape player. If you don't know what that is, kids, ask your grandparents. It also has a CD changer with 6 CDs in the back. Let's take a look at the engine. And first thing you see, that thing is done. I'm gonna have to find a new or used one of those. But that is at the bottom of the list of what's wrong with this thing. Let me just prop the hood up because it's not gonna stay up. Alright, with that propped up, with a piece of very fine wood there, the eagle-eyed viewer would have noticed that these are the starfish wheels in 15, not 16 inch, which means this is not the V6. I'm sorry if you're disappointed. This car has the 2-liter EW10J4 engine. It has 136 horsepower. It has got a new timing belt at 244,000 kilometers. So let's start with this stuff that's broken. Now, in the process of buying this car, the guy got all the papers, all the receipts, and I was looking through them and I found this. And this is the result of the TÜV inspection, and it is dated for last month. He didn't know this was in there. His mother took the car to get tested, and it failed on multiple points. Look at this huge list right here. They found a lot of stuff that was wrong with it. The brakes, the headlights, the fog lights, suspension stuff. That's crusty as hell. Oil leaks, motor mount. So the engine is rocking back and forth. Also some other fun thing. I don't like the look of this thing. I think we're gonna change it out at some point. Yeah, I don't know. Something funny about it. The cosmetic grille is missing. This headlight has been taken out and not put back in properly because it's sticking out here and it's pushed in this corner right here. The rear quarter panel, according to a receipt I found, has been redone at some point, and apparently it hasn't been redone very well because it's starting to rust here in this corner and all the way along that upper edge. Also, the antenna is missing. Alright, it's a new day, and I have a boot full of parts. But first, let's take this thing off. Alright, so the hood on this thing, or the bonnet, does not like to stay up. So we're gonna start by fixing that. Okay. Fell on my head. Oh. They do not look the same, but they do have the same length, so that should work. Some lube. It has to be at exactly the right height. Alright, that's in. Oh look, it's already holding itself. Perfect. Let's do the other side. Yes. Yes. Done. Three out of 6. Not bad. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. Alright, well, the spark plugs that came out of the engine, they don't look too bad, but they're not the correct spark plugs for the engine. The manufacturer recommends Bosch FR8ME, and if you want to go to NGK, the cross-reference number is this, so that's what's going in right now. Next, isolate this wire again. Alright, let's start her up. Okay, started right up. I didn't hear any misfires, so we're all good. It's time for the air filter. Ooh. Tasty. Let's go. Oh my god, look at that. Holy. This is what this should look like. I don't think it's ever been changed. Done.
Actually, not done.
It's time for the front brakes. Forgot my gloves. Doesn't matter. Take off the wear sensors. Oh. Holy. They're so old. The cable's just separated. Okay. Still some meat on them, but they're just too old. Time for the bracket. It's not gonna be an easy job to get them off. So. Jesus Christ. Alright, it's been half an hour. I've been to the store, got myself a biscuit, something to drink, and this. Sadly, it's the biggest one they had, but I think it should be enough. So this thing is basically for making crème brûlées, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a French dessert, and this is a French car. So here's the hoping it works. I know it. See if this helps. Yes. Yes. Didn't I say creme brulee is gonna work? Awesome. What a ridiculous design. Jesus. Wow. This is I got this one off. I got this extractor a bit. Let's try that. Yeah. Come on. What the Wow. I soaked the other side with WD-40. And now we're gonna try this side. Tough, let's play tough. God. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm gonna go and buy the biggest hammer I can find.
1 hammer later.
Set up. I've been to the store and I've gotten me a big boy. It weighs about 1 kilo and it already removed the one rotor. Time for the next. Seems like only sheer violence will do it, so this thing has deserved its name. I'm gonna call him the Persuader V2. Time for some cleaning. Smooth. Alright people, we are not here to teach anybody anything, but if you are gonna learn something from this video, please use anti-seize. So I don't have to go through 2 days of hammering and heating and drilling to get a couple of brake rotors off. New rotor. I want to clean the threads on all of these bolts so I can get a clean torque reading. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, smooth as butter. Awesome. The manual calls for a bit of Loctite. Oh, great. I Loctite my finger. Alright, let's put a bit here. So close. I have fashioned a tool. Okay, here we go. Your business. The cables are routed. This is all done. The other side is also done. Next up are the engine mounts. I'm going to start with this side. It seems to be the hardest one. T40 Torx. Be careful when you do this so you don't get nicked. Now you would think that this is the engine mount, but it isn't. It's just the engine movement limiter. And it is completely... Wow. Okay. Next, I'm going to support the engine. Right, as far as I can tell, that mount twists off. So I can't do it by hand, so I'm going to remove the box and use a oil filter removal tool. Now you can see the engine mount. Jesus. Alright, the camera was off, so you guys just missed my victory dance because I got this thing to spin. The key was clamping the tool on with a pair of pliers. So very tight. It should just twist off now. Now it's time for some cleaning. Looks a bit better. Here's a new mount. I'm gonna smear some NTCs on there. Just hand tight. Alright, let's put everything back together. Now this is just sad, isn't it? The old mount was so compressed that right now I'll have to raise the engine for the bolts to reach. So let's do that. Yes. Time for the left one. 18mm nut. Torx T40. It just lifts off. Yeah. This will not fit. Just gonna clean up and put it back in, the old one, until I can get a new one. Oh, great. This headlight has not been setting right since I bought the car. I'm gonna try to find out why that is. I already soaked this bolt in WD-40, but I don't think it's gonna come out. Yeah, I think that broke. Yep. So the whole stud came out, but actually that should not have happened. That's going back in the car. I can just put the light back in as it's supposed to sit and tighten the nut. This thing is in there. It's not going anywhere. It's flush. So I bought a fuel filter for the car and I followed the manual, which told me that fuel filter should be somewhere near the tank on this side of the car, and there is no fuel filter here. I checked on the forums and someone else said that the coupe doesn't have it, which is weird, but yeah, the whole car is anyway. So let's check that off the list. It's the right one this time. Removing the mudguard from the bumper. This is a self-tapping screw. This should pull out now. Taking the bumper off. It's pretty easy. Right, I'm gonna hold it with the vice grips. Okay, I'm holding it. Go ahead. No, I lost it. There's no chance of grabbing that thing with the vice grips. It's like 1 millimeter thick. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're in.
Holding.
Go. Ah, you mother.
Is it out?
Nope.
Son of a...
I'm just gonna cut the nut off. Okay, I turned the camera off because it was silly to keep recording this, but we got the head of the bolt off of the metal. And now these are connected together, but it doesn't matter. We're taking the bumper off, so that'll come off with it. Yeah, one more thing to fix. I used a long extension to get the other bolt. It should be out now. And it is. It's good. Let's do the other side.
The grass was not greener on the other side.
Getting to this point has been a struggle, to say the least. Let me show you the carnage here. Every fastener, every bolt we touched was rusted. I think only 2 of them came out peacefully. The rest was a fight, and I used like, I think, 20 cutting discs. It also broke my brand new nut splitter, so that was also a casualty. But it's off, which is good. You might be asking yourself, well, why did you get the bumper off? What a good question. Well, a couple of problems. These things that hold in the fog lights are loose. It is missing a grill, which I already got, and we could do some repairs on this side. This is loose and broken. I broke that. And there's a small crack here. And also because all the fasteners were stuck, which is a good enough reason. We could not get the under tray off. Actually, it's still stuck on the bumper right here. So I'm gonna replace all of these fasteners with new ones that do not rust. I'm gonna get that off and then clean everything up, put it aside. So, yeah.
Next time on Retrospek.
Next, the whole assembly has to come out to change everything that needs changing in here, which is, well, almost everything.